Okay, so my name is Arne Peder Blix. I'm together with Hogne, we are the founders of Friend. And we have the joy of showing to you a bit of what we're doing. Successful prototype. We then scrapped the prototype, built it again in C native. And it was in January 15 that it stopped eating memory and was stable and fine. And then, of course, it has iterated and hardened the software, honed the software, and there's a lot of things that has happened, RC1, RC2, RC3. We had some proof of concept signed commercially, and software license agreement done, and the first delivery actually was announced yesterday in the healthcare sector. I will cover that very quickly in a bit. And then we started planning the white paper here because Golem, they said, why don't you consider an ICO, and we will help you get onboarded into the decentralized world and Ethereum ecosystem. The browsers is something that you can reach from almost any device today, any modern device. So we have then been able to take the integration of all the different operating environments, operating systems, and combine them in one user experience in the browser. So it's like an Uber for operating environments, for operating systems on top of it. And that means any device, any operating system, and all of the things, all of the programs that are on these devices can then be combined in one user experience. Your virtual cloud computer that is only for you. How many are Eurobonus Star Alliance members? How many are British Airways One World Alliance? Aha, these are silos, the same thing. They are loyalty programs inducing a certain behavior. Instead of those silos, we discussed when we met, we discussed the philosophy, how should it work today? And the 5 pillars, the 5 principles of Friend. You have to own your own data. You have to have integrity and privacy. Integration should be like magic, seamless. Empowerment, so you can have the freedom to move and create and do whatever you want on the go. Enable and empower you to use your intellect without having to do all of the repetitive tasks over again. The only thing you need to remember is there are 2 components. What we've built that works in any browser and the Friend core. And that means in the workspace you can mix legacy software with cloud whatever, and you can build native stuff in the same place. Yeah, there's a comparison here between operating environments, and of course we can do a lot of things and the others can't do all of that. This is very vibrant, and things are changing on a monthly basis. And the same when you compare it to desktop as a service and Citrix, VMware Horizon and other services. And this is where we are today, and when we then put this in the ICO context, it becomes even a bit more crazy and fun. Today, Hogne Medical Systems, they have 35-40% of all the medical journals in Norway. So 1/3 of this room, your sensitive data are handled by Hogne. And in each doctor and general practitioner office, they have to integrate with all of these different suppliers in an anarchistic environment. So we got into this ecosystem and spoke to Hogne Medical Systems with their System X. We put Friend in the center, did all the integration, and put this on a private cloud. So we are a supplier to the ASP and a supplier to Hogne Medical, so we don't touch the data ourselves. And Shalin, they deliver spectrometry, blood pressure measurement, and all kinds of other devices. So that's IoT, and we're actually integrating all of this into the same user experience, unified user experience, doing integration one time, and then Hogne Medical can go out and actually sell single sign-on. We're extremely focused on building a unifying platform. That means we cannot be focused on just one thing. We actually have to think about AI, we have to think about VR, MR, XR, augmented reality, etc. Let's get to the blockchain part. And how do we do that? I have to explain to you how this looks like today. We do all of the integration pieces in, we call it soft merge, so non-intrusive integration. So it's very boring, but it's very profitable. Integration is the biggest problem in IT today. We need a store to reduce the price of sale, to automate sale. So the friend store and the friend network, and this is where it gets interesting because the friend network is more related to the blockchain and the ICO, which I'll get to. So that means people who are developers, they can use friend and develop apps, APIs, and whatever, and deploy in the friend store and sell. We can also develop our own applications and deploy in the friend store. And then eventually, we will start focusing on building products for the end user. What we are actually building is an Amazon Web Services that blends decentralized and legacy technology, and it blends digital and fiat currency, open source based. It becomes an autonomous organization. It becomes a machine that actually makes it possible for applications to be decoupled from their native infrastructure, so that one day you can run your application on decentralized CPU, and then if you need 1 hour with centralized Intel encrypted GPU, which is extremely expensive, you can do that for 1 hour and then go back to Golem. You can actually then channel the different applications to different infrastructure on a day-by-day basis. Decentralized and centralized storage, mix them and match them with the friend store and the friend network. And how this is possible? We set up the Norwegian ICO, and it's from Norway and in Norway. We're also working with the Norwegian banks, even though they're a bit reluctant, but they understand this is something they have to look at. The friend network will do tech integration with these decentralized storage CPU databases, but also token integration, typically using Omise Go. So that when a friend network user can access this, they can actually have a seamless push in a friend store or directly peer-to-peer, where they can get the resources, and we cover the whole heavy integration, both on the token and the tech integration. That means also that a lot of the fiat suppliers can access this network and sell their services in the friend store. But the friend store doesn't have to take 30%. Hogne and me, we don't think that's friendly. So we're thinking 11, but I'm just thinking that. We haven't decided yet. The point is, I have two masters. I have yourself, Investinor, and all of the shareholders that I have to please in this side. And I have to build an organization together with Hogne and all of here, fueled by revenue and on the normal equity-based, as you know, conventional business. And then I also, Hogne and me, also have to please this side on a token loyalty basis. The future is not all the way over here and revolution. It's an evolution. It's a blend between the technologies and between the different ways of payment. The good thing about doing an ICO from Norway is that it's safe in the sense that it's transparent. If you participate in an ICO in Gibraltar or Malta or Singapore or even Switzerland today, you will not have half of the transparency in your token rights and token economy than that you will have in Norway. In Norway, we have to disclose all about the ownership, all about our books, all about our salaries, everything. That's a good thing. The transparency in Norway is great. The trust capital in Norway is great. It's totally aligned with the 5 pillars, and it's totally aligned with the values that I think blockchain came for. You know, blockchain was a counter pendulum to the financial crisis. I was in the middle of the financial crisis doing equity-based incentives, accounting, valuation, disclosure, and I know that from the inside. Yeah, there is a bit of greed today. There's a bit of 1997 and 2007 today in the ICO and the digital asset space, but it's, and that's just human nature, I think. But you have to remember, in Norway, the social distance between rich and poor, the inequality index in Norway, is the lowest in the Western world. That's a great thing. The transparency, the Norwegian values and how Norway actually still works rather well, that's what we're going to export. That's what we're going to help the world see through what we're doing in Friend, and that's why you should participate in this. It's really meaningful effort. It's a big, ambitious, crazy project that people were laughing at me and others 3 years ago, but now they're seeing this is actually not such a bad idea. Thank you.
I was impressed with the operating system aspect of it. I heard about it before, but I didn't realize the full extent of what it was doing. So I'm happy to be reading more about it and see what it actually can do.
I did not know of the project from before, so it was a very informative presentation, and it's very interesting to hear that we have some projects relating to blockchain technology also here in Norway.
There was a lot of information, so it's a lot to pack into 1 hour. But I thought it was really cool that people in Norway are doing this kind of stuff. It's uncharted territory. You really have to have guts to try something like this, and I think they're doing a great job.